Welcome to the second video of rereading the Warrior series. I would like to quickly state that this video will contain spoilers. The books that I'm going to be reading in this video is Firestar's Quest and then the New Prophecy arc, including Midnight, Moonrise, Dawn, Starlight, Twilight, and finally Sunset. Currently I am reading Firestar's Quest. Firestar's Quest takes place immediately after the first arc, the Prophecies Begin arc. So I did say in the end of the last video that I was going to go in order of publishing date. However, basically I would just prefer to read Firestar's Quest first since it happens right after the Prophecies Begin. With the next books that I'm going to be reading, I will be going by the publishing date. I am currently on page 173 of Firestar's Quest. Firestar is getting used to his role as leader. He's realizing the importance of his role in the clan, but he finds himself constantly being revisited by these reoccurring dreams of Cat fleeing the forest, asking for help, and he constantly is seeing visions of this gray and white cat. Good morning. You can hear my music. Oh boy. So, update on Firestar's Quest. I'm on chapter 6. I am enjoying it. Seeing the cats kind of grown. It's just nice to see characters from the first arc like have kids right now. I mean, I guess Greystripe did in the first arc, but you didn't really see his kids very often. You see like Dustpelt with his kids, Spider Kit and Shrew Kit, and his mate Ferncloud. You guys like my new desktop background? It's so cute. It makes me so happy. Minnie wants to say hi. Hello. Chapter 24, page 312. I'm hoping to finish Firestar's Quest and we start on midnight. It's midnight. So I have finished. Is this the first time I'm updating you guys? I have no idea. I have finished Firestar's Quest, but I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I think the only thing that I was kind of meh with was how the ending came together. It was like the authors were trying to wrap it all together too nicely in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, she's getting up. She's coming. She's coming. But it's like they were trying to have the prettiest bow on the ending of the book, and it was too much, in my opinion. I liked the Sandstorm and Firestar's relationship. Now I am on Midnight. I'm not very far into it. I think I'm only like 20 pages in, I think. I haven't made much progress, or any progress, really, on Moonrise. I have made none. I don't remember the last time I updated you guys, so I did finish Moonrise. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, I believe. And then yesterday, I started and finished Dawn. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next book, Starlight, I haven't made any progress on this yet. Hopefully I will today. I don't know if I will. Look at that judgmental face. I'm so exhausted. My book's all the way over there. I'm too lazy to go get it. Hoping to finish Starlight? I'm pretty sure it's Starlight. So, update on Fish. Let me take you over there. A few days ago, Miss Augie over here had babies. So, I have these two. I have Sunburst and Augie, and then I have Augie's babies. Where are they? Oh, they're at the top. So they're doing fine. I have to crush their food up into basically powder so they are able to eat. How are you doing this morning? Now you don't talk? Ugh. I don't have my lights on right now because it's insanely hot outside and the light makes your room hotter. I finished Starlight yesterday. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and now I have started the next book in the series, Twilight. I hope to finish it soon. I don't know when because I'm reading other books right now as well. I made some good progress in Twilight. I read over 100 pages, and I am a little over halfway through. As I'm reading more into this arc, I found out when I first started the New Prophecy arc that it was actually originally supposed to be 3 books. I think you can tell that they did not know how to make it. Okay, like I said, it was originally supposed to be 3 books in this series, but because of the success from the first arc, their publishing company wanted it to be 6 books like the first one. And I think you can easily tell when reading the series that the Aarons had no idea how to make it into 6 books nicely. Like, they had this idea that only fit 3 books, and they had to expand that. And I feel like you can tell that they were just kind of, oh, let's throw in this, even though it kind of goes against what you built your characters off of. Like, in this book particularly, Bramble Claw is getting closer with his half-brother Hawkfrost, and he's meeting up with their father, Firestar. Whereas, earlier on in the series, and when Bramble Claw is younger, he wants nothing to do with his father, so he can prove his loyalty to the ThunderClan. But now all of a sudden he's like, oh, let's talk with the murderous Firestar. It just doesn't make sense. It's out of character. And then also, the forbidden love in this arc is so annoying. But Leafpool and Crowfeather never actually really talked to each other, and they just, they had like one-sentence conversations, and then they just happened to fall in love. So I finished everything. Why don't we talk about it? So, I'm aware that I haven't really been updating very well with this reading vlog. Life kind of got a little bit busy for me, and by that I mean remodeling our kitchen with my mom. It took us a lot longer than we thought it would, but we're done, yay! Like I said, I have finished all 7 books: Firestar's Quest, Sunset, Twilight, Starlight, Dawn, Moonrise, and Midnight. Hello. So the first book that I read was Firestar's Quest. I think this was my only 5-star of this reading vlog. This book takes place a few seasons after the events of the Darkest Hour in the previous arc. Firestar, like I said, I think in the beginning of this vlog, Firestar is seeing visions of this gray and white cat, and he's constantly dreaming of this group of cats that seem to be calling out to him for help. He later realizes that these cats clan called Sky Clan that he was never aware of, and basically he has to go on this journey with his mate Sandstorm to rebuild Sky Clan. I think the biggest question that I had during reading this book, how does no one within the 4 clans in the forest know of Sky Clan? So basically what I'm trying to say here is that in the past books, the clans have mentioned Tiger Clan and Lion Clan way back when, before the clans were formed. So how do they know of them, but they don't know of Sky Clan, the 5th clan that was driven out by all the other 4 clans? It just doesn't make sense to me, and it seems very convenient for the plot, and it's never explained. It's just, no one knows of Sky Clan. This book, along with pretty much the rest of the books that I read in this reading vlog, are mainly adventure books, and I really love Aaron Hunter's writing of adventure books. Wow, I can't speak. Another really thing that I enjoyed with this book is the variety of characters. I think this is a really good example of the authors creating a very good cast. Speaking of characters, we got to learn a little bit more of Sandstorm within this book. We found out that even though she's a very proud cat, she is very insecure of the fact that Firestar once loved Spotted Leaf, and that subject is tackled in this book. Also, just like a quick little side note rant thing, why does Longtail have to go blind? I don't know, every time it gets to like his scenes where he's like aware of the fact that he most likely won't have his sight returned, it's so sad because he's such a young cat. I said this earlier in the vlog. The authors tried to tie it all up too nicely in this prettiest little bow ever, and I felt like that kind of, it didn't take away from the book necessarily, but they tried to make it too clean of a conclusion, and it just felt off in my opinion. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I still really enjoyed it. So the next one I read is Midnight. I ended up giving this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really have honestly very few notes because nothing much happens within this book. Brambleclaw is given this mysterious prophecy, and he has no idea what to do with this. Squirrelpaw tries to follow along, and she's very annoying. Firestar is completely out of character and is like Bluestar 2.0 when she goes chaotic. He's given the prophecy, and then we learn that Brambleclaw must go on this journey with these other group of cats: Crowpaw, Tawnyfelt, his sister, and Feathertail, and then Stormfur and Squirrelpaw join along. Really, my only notes is Squirrelpaw is very annoying. She really has no reason to be annoying. She's just You could say she just doesn't like Brambleclaw, but she's rude to every single warrior and just like cat around her. So she really has there's no reason for her to be rude to everyone. She's just very, I'm not going to listen to you because I'm so great. I feel like they were trying to make Squirrelpaw and Leafpaw have their own personalities, and the only way they could figure out how to do that was to give them polar opposites. So Squirrelpaw is the annoying sassy cat, and then Leafpaw is this very quiet, not much of a personality cat. Leafpaw doesn't really have much of a personality until halfway through the series. Also, another thing, it follows Brambleclaw and these other group of cats and within these different clans, but yet we really don't learn much of these other cats that he's traveling with to find the Midnight. We kind of get like a little tease of the other characters, but we never see perspectives from them. The only other ones we see perspectives from is Squirrelpaw and Leafpaw, all from ThunderClan. So it's kind of... I felt like this book could have been so much more better if we got a perspective from Tawny Pelt. If this whole book was in her point of view, it would have been so nice. Honestly, there is no point of view from Tawny Pelt in this entire series. There's also not one from Crowfeather either. So here we are with Moonrise. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars because I really did enjoy it more than Midnight, because more does happen and we learn these new group of cats called the Tribe of Rushing Water, and that they try to help out with this mysterious danger that the tribe is having. While it's all interesting and stuff, and that's mainly why I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, because it's a book that at the end, Feathertail is a very important character, but we only get one chapter of her perspective. It made it very lacking in the end. Her death seemed the emotion that I think the authors were trying to go for with her death wasn't there for me. Her whole romance with Crowpaw just seemed to be like an extra pull for other things later on in the series. The romances were not my favorite thing. They were my least favorite thing in this entire arc. This book in particular felt like it was taking away from the main plot of this entire arc.
The word pause. Okay, let's do a little fancy schmancy transition because I didn't have enough time to film this video. Let's go!
So the next book in the series is Dawn. In this book, the journeying cats return to their clans and they must convince their clan to go find new territory because humans are destroying their forest. Some of the clans are wanting to go find territory and the other half like, nope, we're just gonna stick it out, and that's basically the majority of this entire book. Finally, the clans do leave and they find a new territory. That is very rushed. And hey, hello. Graystripe was caught by the two legs, and that was just really sad to see Firestar reacting to losing his best friend. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think this was my lowest rated book. The next book is Starlight. Crowfeather should have been the character that you see most of the perspective. The entire drama in this entire book is centered around WindClan, his clan. But I am aware that there's a special edition of him, which I cannot wait to read. But the romance with Leafpaw and Crow, in my opinion, it was just put there to set up for the later books. It's just rushed. It's not believable. Also, Mudclaw is pretty much the villain in this book, and I 100% understand why. He is one of the few villains that actually have a reason to be made a villain. He was deputy of WindClan for a very long time, but all of a sudden Tallstar is like, nope, you're not gonna be leader, because Tallstar is losing his last life, and so he appoints One Whisker instead. So that his whole turn to evil type thing is very believable because he worked all his life and served his clan as deputy, and now leadership is being taken away from him. When I also did enjoy the fact that Mothwing is one of the first, I think the first cat we see that doesn't believe in their ancestors. She doesn't believe in StarClan, and it's later found out that her brother Hawkfrost caused that. I just thought that was really interesting because it's such an important thing within the clans to believe StarClan, to have a cat, especially specifically a medicine cat, who's supposed to be the one closest to StarClan in her clan. I feel like you can really feel for Mothwing as a character because you know she wants to heal her clan, she wants to be a great medicine cat, but one of the most important things of being a medicine cat is speaking to your ancestors, and she can't. I did enjoy it. I give it 3.8 out of 5 stars. Stuff is Twilight. This book in particular is definitely more character driven than plot driven. I like the friendship between Ashfur and Squirrelflight. Honestly, I really would have liked them as a couple at the end, but obviously they don't. But basically, Squirrelflight in this book kind of befriends Ashfur a little bit more. There is no romance between Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight, pretty much. And Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight are constantly at each other's throats. They're like how they were in the very beginning of the series. But the whole thing with Squirrelflight, Ashfur, and Brambleclaw, it becomes very repetitive. There's 3 characters who really stood out to me in this book. Brambleclaw, his whole personality does a complete 180. He becomes very arrogant. We learn that there is now this place of no stars, which is basically cat hell. And we find out that cats from that area, just like in StarClan, can visit cats that are living. And Firestar does that with his sons, Brambleclaw and Hawkcroft. Previous series, and a little bit in the beginning of this series, Brambleclaw seems to make it very clear that he wants nothing to do with his father. Like, the entire time that he was an apprentice, him and his sister were trying to get people to understand that he's not like his father. He wants nothing to do with his father. But the second Firestar speaks to him, he wants to learn so much from him, and it doesn't make sense. Another character that I want to mention is Leafpool. Her character becomes more fleshed out, and I feel like she's trying to figure out her destiny, and I feel like you definitely see her struggle, and you can definitely feel for her, even if you don't like the romance between her and Crowfeather. The next character I want to talk about is Cinderpelt. At the beginning of this book, we are given this chapter of this mysterious cat who's being told that they are going to die soon. And we later find out that it is Cinderpelt. When I was starting this book, I was aware, I've already read this series, so I already knew that it was Cinderpelt. Reading it again, and actually knowing that the cat is her was so sad. She has to make sure that when she dies, her clan is being cared for. So her apprentice, Leafpool, is not 100% into caring for her clan. She's divided between her clan and Crowfeather. Seeing her struggle to get Leafpool to understand without telling Leafpool that she's going to die is really heartbreaking. It just made me so happy to see how far Cinderpelt has come as a character. I feel like she is one of the rare cases where we see very good character development. The scene where she goes to attack Leafpool because Leafpool is about to go off being with Crowfeather, it was just Cinderpelt's last effort at trying to get her apprentice to see that she needs to stay. At the end of this book, there is a major badger attack. Cinderpelt does end up dying. Speaking of death, Super's death was so sad. Squirrelflight hears this cat crying out in pain, and she looks over, and it's Super, whose back legs are no longer working, and so he's just crawling around the camp, calling out for help, and it's just so sad. As Squirrelflight is trying to help him, a cat who can't move his back legs now because he's now paralyzed, climb up their rock wall to get out of the camp. He can't make it, and this badger comes and attacks him, and Super, despite being paralyzed, still defends himself. He's only a minor character, but I don't know why, but ever since I was younger and I read the series and I heard of Super and Lady Whisker dying, I just always got sad. I did end up giving this book a 3.8 out of 5 stars. So the final book is Sunset. This is where I have a hard time explaining that I do like this book, because I love the writing of Aaron Hunter. I do enjoy reading this series. It brings me so much joy. It reminds me of my childhood, and it just makes me happy. It's my happy place. That being said, I really don't have too much to say about this book in particular. We are now getting Brambleclaw's perspective when he is going to visit Firestar and Hawkcroft. We're trying to see him trying to decide if he's going to be a good cat or a bad cat. That's very interesting. Again, though, it brings me to the fact that he wanted nothing to do with his father, and now he can't decide, he can't understand why it's so bad that he talks with a murderous cat. He's constantly trying to think about how he's going to become leader in the future, because his father, Firestar, is wanting Hawkcroft and Brambleclaw become leaders of their clans, ThunderClan and RiverClan. He's wanting them to take over WindClan and ShadowClan and make 2 clans, not 4. So he's wanting his sons to do what he wanted to do. You can't be appointed deputy until you've been given an apprentice. Brambleclaw has never had an apprentice. He sees Barry Kit as his key to becoming deputy and then leader. That, I don't know, to me that just, I could not care about a cat who uses a young kitten for his own personal gain. At the end of the series, I really don't like Brambleclaw. Maybe later on in the next series, he will grow on me a little bit more. Why can't Firestar let it go? Firestar is just pretty much trying to still kill Firestar, because I'm assuming because Firestar is a kitty pet. I think that's what he's driven by now. I mean, I guess you could say that he's trying to still gain power through his sons and make them lead the forest like he wanted to. But why? This book also is just setting up so much for the next series that it doesn't have a good ending, in my opinion. There's no closure. It doesn't wrap up well nicely. It was trying to set up too much for the next generation. But we're also told when Stormfur and Brooke come back from the tribe that something's going on within the tribe, but we never find out why. There's no closure with that. Stormfur and Brooke just kind of join the clans, join ThunderClan, and we're never told what happens with the tribes. I'm assuming we'll find out next in the next series, but there's no closure there. Overall, I did enjoy this arc. I don't think I enjoyed it. Well, I know I didn't enjoy it as much as the first arc. In this arc, particularly, forbidden love is a big thing, destiny is a big thing, faith is a big thing. But I feel like there was just some things that weren't done very well, like the romance. Brambleclaw's character development wasn't really there. One of the things that, and I don't see this as a problem necessarily in the series, but when Cinderpelt dies, we later find out that Swirltail's kids that Cinderpelt was helping Swirltail give birth to when badgers were attacking and Cinderpelt was killed, that the kid that Swirltail named after Cinderpelt, Cinderkit, is Cinderpelt reincarnated. When Leafpool was saying goodbye to Cinderpelt, like when Cinderpelt was already dead and Leafpool was saying goodbye to her like dead body and stuff, Cinderpelt came to Leafpool as a spirit and talked to her for a second with Spotted Leaf. Was Cinderkit without a soul or something talking to Leafpool? Because I'm aware of the fact that Cinderkit is not aware that she did have a life previously. She's just aware that she is Swirltail's kit, and she's not aware that she had a life previously as Cinderpelt. But yeah, that was just a question that I had that I was really confused with. In the next video, I will be reading all of the Power of 3 arc, I believe is what it's called, and then I will be reading Blue Star's Prophecy in that order. So yeah, I've already started the first book. I think I'm 40 pages into it. That particular series, I don't remember too much about. I do know like main plot points that happen. I feel like I am reading a different series since I don't remember too much about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys will watch the next video. If you read any of these books, tell me which ones is your favorite of this New Prophecy series. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.